Hello YouTube. Tonight, this is my wig that I haven't worn out in public yet. This is just, a little cheap $30 wig. I don't spend no money. Most money I've ever spent on a wig was about 100 and something. Never again. But yeah, just rocking this for the video tonight. Lip gloss is from Victoria's Secret from some years ago. Just thought I'd switch up my look, But tonight I'm talking about Nikki, Giovanni, Alvin, Ailey, and James Baldwin. I'm coming at you hard, YouTube. Now these people are some heavy hitters, and I feel like they are so important to know. James Baldwin, I actually knew nothing about him until the movie. Yes, I'm ashamed. Alvin Ailey, I always knew about him because of my father, and we go to the plays all the time. So if you're from New York City, he does it seasonally they just started doing Alvin Ailey plays at BAM, but they always done it at the Met. So every year in the summer, early summer, June, and I would take my father for Father's Day, and now they're starting to do it in the winter months with the African American ballets. He was an African American man who passed away some time ago. But I'm going to start with Nikki Giovanni. Now, she was born Yolande Cornelia Giovanni Jr. So I didn't even know a woman could be a junior. That's dope. That's dope. Okay. So she was born June 7th, 1943, and she just died December 9th, 2024. So she just died like less than 2 months ago. She was a poet, a writer, a commentator, an activist, and an educator. And recently on Instagram, they show videos of her and James Baldwin talking, and I'm definitely gonna upload that on my channel. They have it listed as one of the shorts, so yeah, I'm gonna put that up. One of the world's best known African American poets. Her work includes poetry anthologies, poetry recordings, and nonfiction essays, and covers topics ranging from race and social issues to children's literature. She won numerous awards, including the Langston Hughes Medal and the NAACP Image Award. She was nominated for a 2004 Grammy Award for her poetry album, the Nikki Giovanni Poetry Collection. Additionally, she was named as one of Oprah Winfrey's 25 Living Legends. I love it. Giovanni was a member of the Wintergreen Women Writers Collective, and I just recently learned about her, and I thought it was dope to talk about her because I am a poet. I have a book out. You could Google me, Crystal Vows, the girl that turned into a woman, and she is a poet, and I just love that. So she initially got fame from the 1960s as the Black Arts Movement, foremost authors of the Black Arts Movement. She was influenced by the Civil Rights Movement and Black Power movement of the period. Her education is from Fisk University, where she received her BA, and University of Pennsylvania, Columbia University. And she has one child. Yes. So yeah. So Giovanni was a professor at Virginia Tech, and in September 2022 she taught for 35 years, and she was considered the university's distinguished professor emerita by the university in December 2022. On December 9th of 2024, that's just happened, She died of complications from lung cancer in a hospital in Blacksburg, Virginia. She was 81. She had been working on a memoir titled A Street Called Mulvaney, and her final poetry collection, the last book, was set for publication this year. I'm just going to read a quick poem of hers. I know it wouldn't be right to close out without reading some of her material. It's called Legacies. Her grandmother called her from the playground. "Yes, ma'am. I want you to learn how to make rolls," said the old woman proudly. But the little girl didn't want to learn how, because she knew, even if she couldn't say it, that would mean when the old one died, she would be less dependent on her spirits. So she said, "I don't want to know how to make no rolls," with her lips poked out. And the old woman wiped her hands on her apron, saying, "Lord, these children." And neither of them even said what they meant, and I guess everybody does. Nobody ever does. This is another one. Another poem written by Giovanni is called Dreams. In my younger years, before I learned black people aren't supposed to dream, I wanted to be a relit and say, drown in my young tears, or talking about, or Marjorie Hendricks and grind, all up against the mic and scream, baby night and day, baby night and day. Then as I grew and matured, I became more sensible and decided I would settle down and just become a sweet inspiration. And that was Nikki Giovanni. James Arthur Baldwin was born on August 2nd, 1924, and he died December 1st, 1987. That's 2 years before I was born. Well, he was an African-American writer and civil rights activist who garnered acclaim for his essays, novels, plays, and poems, and also his books as well. There's a movie called Beale Street Could Talk. This is the book, James Baldwin, If Beale Street Could Talk. The movie is actually really good. It talks about a 19-year-old who gets pregnant during the 70s, and her child's father is accused of a crime that he did not do. It's actually really sad because he ends up going to jail, and she brings, the way the movie ends is pretty much she's bringing a child to visit him. So and it's just basically showing like the typical urban community and some of the issues that sometimes they face. But he was born in 1924. He was educated in New York, and he is the author of more than 20 works of fiction and non-fiction books. Go Tell It on the Mountain, Notes of a Native Son, Giovanni's Room, Nobody Knows My Name, Another Country, The Fire Next Time, Nothing Personal, Blues for Mr. Charlie, Going to Meet the Man, The A-Man Corner, Tell Me How Long the Train's Been Gone, One Day When I Was Lost, No Name in the Street, The Devil Finds Work. Oh, that sounds good. Little Man Just Above the Head, The Evidence of Things Not Seen, Jimmy's Blues, and The Price of the Ticket. Among the awards he received are a Eugene Saxton Memorial Trust Award and a Rosalind Wall Fellowship, a Guggenheim Fellowship, a Partisan Review Fellowship. He died in 1987. So James Baldwin wasn't just an author, he was also a civil rights activist. And I love that about these two people, because you could just sit back, and I want to encourage people that your writings are more than just writings. They could be entertainment, but it's good to inspire, and it's just good to know that during a time when of all the adversity, I find it remarkable that they still stood up for something. I think that's dope. Baldwin was an influential public figure and orator, especially during the civil rights movement in the United States. Baldwin's fiction posed fundamental personal questions and dilemmas and complex social and psychological pressures. Themes of masculinity, sexuality, race, and class intertwine to create intricate narratives that influence both the civil rights movement and the gay liberation movement in mid-20th century America. His protagonists are often, but not exclusively, African American, gay, and bisexual men feature prominently in his work, as in his 1956 novel Giovanni's Room. His characters typically face internal and external obstacles in their search for self and social acceptance. Baldwin's work continues to influence artists and writers. His unfinished manuscript, Remember This House, was expanded and adapted as the 2016 documentary film I Am Not Your Negro, winning the BAFTA Award for Best Documentary. His 1974 novel, If Beale Street Could Talk, was adapted into a 2018 film of the same name, which earned widespread praise. Alvin Ailey. So I was just looking up some stuff and I didn't even know he was an activist too. I just thought, and it's just amazing, like they're not just artists in their own right, but these all three were activists. Mahalia Jackson, as I spoke about her last video, she was an activist. So no matter what your talent is, you can always stand up for something. And that's what I love about these people that I've researched and I'm talking to you about. Alvin Ailey, like I spoke before, he is a brilliant man. He passed away in 1989, December 1st, and was born 1931, January 5th. He was an American dancer, director, choreographer, and activist who founded the AAADT, Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. So they tour around the country, but their thing is right here in New York City, and it's very good. It's very cheap too. It's not expensive. You can get a $30 ticket when they do it in New York City, and it's just dope that he died in '89, but they still continue doing his work, which is amazing. He was also an author. He fused theater, modern dance, ballet, and jazz with black vernacular, creating hope-fueled choreography that continues to spread global awareness of Black life in America. So briefly, I wanted to talk about one of his productions. It talked about basically back then, and they I'ma let my burden down by the riverside. That's one of the songs. And it's another Negro spiritual that they sing, and they're dressed in yellow, and it's so simple, but it's so cool. They take like white sheets to make it look like water on the stage, and basically it just talks about our people and what they went through, slavery and a little post-slavery. So it's definitely educational and historic, though it be a ballet. And you gotta treat yourself. If you live in the New York City area or Pennsylvania, they're like all over. You just gotta look at the website and put that on your to-do list. This is February, and look up Alvin Ailey. And if you love my channel, you'll love Alvin Ailey. So your homework, y'all, is to look up Alvin Ailey, right? I want y'all to look up Alvin Ailey, and his program is in a city near you, and I promise you, you will not regret seeing it. And it's not expensive, I promise you. The most I've ever spent on a ticket was $35. Get a good seat. Even if you get an expensive seat, it's not gonna cost you no more than $80. That's if you want to sit in the orchestra and be fancy. But it's well worth every dime. Really, truly is. On July 15, 2008, the United States Congress passed a resolution designating Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater a vital American culture ambassador to the world. The same year, in recognition of AAADT's 50th anniversary, then Michael Bloomberg declared December 4th Alvin Ailey Day in New York City, while then Governor David Paterson honored the organization on behalf of New York State. So I didn't even know that. I'm learning with you guys. This man is well respected even by politicians, and I'm happy for that. Yeah. So like I said, you know, he died in 89, but his work lives on. He is an author. When he was alive, he was an activist. You know, and his legacy lives on. And those are the three people that I've talked about: Alvin Ailey, James Baldwin, and Nikki Giovanni. And what they have taught me is nothing wrong with being talented, but don't forget your people. And that's what I teach myself. Like, I'm gonna always speak up. I use my little platform that I have here to speak up and speak out. And those are my thoughts.